The focus of the passage is on. Option A says, defining the concept of self-awareness. This is quite limited. First off, we have a distortion in the word defining. The concept of self-awareness is not defined, it is discussed. Then again, a large part of the passage is about cognition or even consciousness. So it's not just self-awareness. Self-awareness, there are references to it, yes, in about 3 paragraphs or so, but that is still one of the aspects. The other aspect is consciousness. So we find that this is quite limited and somewhat distorted. A can be eliminated. Option B says, discussing the concept of self-awareness and its relation to pain. So this gets at least the first part right, discussing the concept of self-awareness, but then the second part is quite limited and its relation to pain. We have about 2 or 3 references to pain altogether. There's one reference here in the first paragraph, perhaps to excess pain. And then there is one reference in the 4th paragraph here, with the perception and awareness of pain. There are some references around these, but those are the only 2 references, only 2 clusters of references, let's call them. So to include the aspect of its relation to pain, that makes the focus of the passage, which is in essence talking about the central idea, quite vague. This is a very limited reference, and we have seen how the majority of the passage is about, yes, self-awareness, but also about consciousness. And we'll see why in option D, which is the correct answer. So B is limited. It can be knocked off. Option C tells us, analyzing the pain stimulus of vertebrates and invertebrates and relating it to self-awareness. Just adding the aspect of vertebrates and invertebrates, which we actually don't have any references to. This is outside the premise. Analyzing the pain stimulus and self-awareness, 2 aspects which are included in B, the same elimination as option B. This option is also out. Option D tells us, describing awareness of self as a central aspect of consciousness. This is perfect. We have been talking how awareness of self or self-awareness is one of the key aspects, but a more important aspect is that of consciousness or development of consciousness. If we see some of the references to this, we start with the first paragraph. We'll find the first line suggests this. We know that in humans, awareness of self goes well beyond feelings of feeling and expressing emotions. Humans develop a sense of self by accumulation of experience. And to do this, we rely on memories of those experiences. Skip to the last 2 lines, but we cannot remember if we felt pain or any other feeling at the beginning of our lives. The ability to be aware of the self appears to develop with age, or at least the ability to form a memory of it does so. The second paragraph says, a human infant is at first unable to perceive itself as separate from its surrounding environment. So here we are talking about perception, we are talking about consciousness. A human infant developing consciousness. We see in the 3rd paragraph, we do not know with complete accuracy when infants become aware of their own feelings and when they begin to develop a sense of the self. This line is a very good reference to this option. We are talking about 2 things. The author says we do not know with complete accuracy when human infants become aware of their own feelings, which is talking about consciousness, and when they begin to develop a sense of self, which is talking about self-awareness. We see the same references in the 4th and 5th paragraphs. The 4th paragraph begins by stating, let us return to an earlier stage of development, well before that at which a human may be acquiring language. One of the principal developments of the sensory system, sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell, is that they come into function sequentially. Going towards the end of this, we see there's a reference to the development of self-awareness of feelings and emotions possibly begins with the perception and awareness of pain and hunger, followed by awareness of discontent and pleasure, developing to love and hate, and so on. Aspects of the psyche, aspects of emotions, aspects of consciousness. Perhaps animals get so far along the sequence of development of self-awareness and stop before it is completed. The fifth paragraph, the end, it says, if this is the case for physical characteristics, it might be true also for the cognitive process that underline the development of self-awareness. Again, a very good reference. We are talking about self-awareness, the development of self-awareness, and also the cognitive process, which connects with the aspect of consciousness. So overall, we find that not only is this option comprehensive because it covers both the key aspects from the passage, it also finds direct or indirect, but references across the entire passage. So D can be qualified. That is the correct answer.